frick. Okay, I got kind of owned there, I guess. Fuck you, Tails. Fuck you, Tails! Ugh! That just really hurt my throat doing that. Don't. Stay the fuck off. You know what? I'm just gonna tank the hit. You know what? Okay. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Damn you, Tails. You are a piece of shit. I knew I shouldn't have brought him along. He was not worth it. Anyways, yeah, of course, so kind of the more what was I gonna? I was moving on to something about the level design, which I'm kind of have to put a cap on because we're like right at the end of the game. The one criticism I think I have of the Sonic 3 and Knuckles level design is its sort of approach to speedways is kind of like what I was saying with the lifts. The levels are sometimes on autopilot a little bit too much, like a bit too much of the time in the levels in this game. Just a little bit. It's just on autopilot, like you just like, you know, you spin dash forward through like a series of tubes or ramps or something, just like a lot of like holding down, just holding forward or down on the control pad in order to basically speed your way down slopes or through tubes and that kind of thing. I think actually, and sadly, as much as I like the music, I'd say Hydrocity Zone is the biggest culprit in that regard. Most of the other zones, on the other hand, are pretty good. Like, I'd say, yeah, in general, it's not a huge problem. Like, there isn't enough of it that I'd say it hugely detracts from the game. It's just a little bit too much autopilot in this game. Like, it's like this, amongst certain segments of the internet. Oh, I love this big epic boss fight. Okay, I'm gonna put a cap on this so I can talk about talk about what's going on screen here, because this is actually a really cool finish to this game. Okay, I'm actually kind of gonna speed my way through this too, because that's the cool thing about the bosses in these games, is that there's always a way to speed through just really fast. Oh, am I gonna get him? Oh, fucking Tails, you ruined me. Am I at? Oh yeah, that's right, because I loaded up my other save file. I was like, holy shit, did I really accumulate 98 lives over the course of this game? No, I didn't. This is my other save file, which obviously I've played through multiple times since beating it first. Anyways. Actually, Tails is actually kind of a big help with the fingers. I think he gets me through them like one cycle faster than I would have otherwise. Anyways. Yeah, just a tiny, tiny little bit too much autopilot, which that's kind of the reputation that the Sonic games have in certain segments of the internet. Just like, oh yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, that's a game where you hold forward to win and just run through the levels. That's not true in the slightest. Like, yeah, if you play Sonic 1, not true at all. Play Sonic 2, not true in the slightest. It is a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit more true in Sonic 3 and Knuckles than in the other games, but still not a big criticism. And I finally put a cap on that so we can get into the finale, because this is the big tradition. This was like a big breaking point. Like this was innovative, I want to say. This is completely unlike the final bosses from any of the other Sonic games before now. This is the first Sonic game that gave you like a unique final stage okay, that's not entirely true. Sonic 2 on the Master System gave you a unique final stage for having all the emeralds, but still, like a unique final boss fight with unique mechanics. And this was really, really awesome back in the day. This just blew my freaking mind when I first saw this. It's like, holy shit, what is this? Super Sonic is flying through space and missiles and meteors are flying at me, and I've got to collect rings because they're ticking down, and it's like, it's just crazy. This just blew my mind. I've never seen anything like this in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Never seen anything like this in a video game, where it just like completely changes things up for the final stage. And it just blew my mind as a kid. And it really is like an epic finale. It's, a finale so awesome and so epic that they had to fucking use it for every single goddamn Sonic game ever since then. So yeah. The whole, Super Sonic flying through space to ram into the enemy, kind of a tired trope at this point, sadly, in a Sonic in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles did it first, and did it best, in my opinion. This final phase of the fight is actually, if you're good enough at least to get to this point in the fight with about, even if you have about 20 rings, this last part of the fight, you like basically can't lose if you know what you're doing. Although it's actually pretty tricky if you, like basically, like kind of the expected way. The way I think they expect you to do it is you just hold forward, and you just slowly make your way forward, and you gotta dodge all this stuff, and it's like kind of tricky because you're just kind of slowly making your way forward, and you're a little bit, camera's just like a little bit off center, so you gotta be tricky, kind of careful to dodge all this. But yeah, you can just mash the buttons to speed your way forward, and if you have about 20 rings, you can just do this repeatedly, and you'll win before you can even do anything. Actually, although there is a nasty thing, actually, because if you just mash the buttons without holding forward, he'll speed forward, but for some reason, the boss won't drag towards him. Like, you can see, oh, I'm speeding through the meteors. Why isn't he coming? For some reason, like, the boss won't actually start going towards you unless you hold forward. So if you just mash the dash button, you'll never make it. You have to hold forward in order to actually hit him. But yeah, as long as you just hold forward, mash dash, as long as you have 20 rings at that phase of the fight, hold forward, mash dash, you've got him. And as you can see, I enabled the Sonic 3 music, Sonic 3 credits music here, because it's the best. I love the Sonic 3 credits music, although it actually will, there's actually another unique little thing that they changed up for the Sonic 3 Complete, is like this first little cutscene here starts with the Sonic 3 ending theme, but then for the real credits, it switches over to the Sonic and Knuckles credits theme, so you kind of get the best of both worlds here. And actually, there actually is unique credits music that does play for the PC version, which I actually did disable just because I don't know. Just, this is kind of, you know, this is my Sonic 3 and Knuckles Let's Play. I kind of wanted to get, like, the real full experience of the game with a few tweaks, but I don't know, just changing the credits music to something so inferior sounding to the original credits music, it's just, I didn't want to end the LP on such a down note, so we got the original music here. And yeah, you can hear the original one. And honestly, I kind of ruined the LP anyways by missing the emeralds there. Sorry, but, you know, I just suck, and that's the way it's gotta be. Yeah. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, this is almost my perfect game. It's just a game perfectly... I mean, probably a lot of it comes down to nostalgia, but honestly, I don't know. I think have I properly justified my love for this game? Like I said, it's my favorite 2D platformer, okay. Pretty close to my favorite 2D platformer of all time. There is a relatively recent release that... I'm not quite done playing that recent release yet. That might come within spitting distance of supplanting it as my favorite. But anyways, for now, at least my solid favorite, my solid, potentially disputed favorite 2D platformer of all time is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Just the level designs, the sort of controls, the physics, and again, the stuff that it adds over there. So all that stuff was there in the previous games too, but it's here in spades in this game. It has it here even better in this game. And it adds just the shield powers, and the mid-boss fights are great, and the different music in each act is great, even though the music, admittedly, overall, Sonic 2 has kind of a better soundtrack, I think, but, and even the special stages are better, the way that you access the special stages is neater and less annoying. It's just, it's longer, which is kind of a strike against the game, and yeah, this LP ended up going 2.5 hours, which is, longer than usual. Obviously, I spent more time than I would have otherwise fucking around with special stages. I think it takes me about 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours, I think, on a typical run of this game. And I did a kind of a little bit of other faffing it about and showing off too, but yeah. And yeah, like, 'cause, I don't know, it's, yeah, I feel like, you know, admittedly, I caught the Sonic bug back in the day. Like I said, this game came out at the height of my Sonic fandom. I was huge into Sonic, huge into all the Sonic media, and even the more obscure Sonic media back in that day. So this game hit at like the exact right time for me to eat it up. I would probably love this game if it were shit. If this game were Sonic Adventure 2, if this game were as garbage as Sonic Adventure 2, I would probably still love it, just because I was that much of a Sonic fan at the time. But thankfully, this game isn't garbage. It's wonderful. It's one of the best games of all time. possibly the best 2D platformer of all time, at least in my opinion, to my tastes. Straight up. Like, dude, don't, you know... Or, okay. You know what? I'm talking shit, actually. There's another game. I keep forgetting about that other game, and I'm gonna LP it sometime. There's another game that's basically tied with this for best 2D platformer of all time, and I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll let you guess it in the comments, maybe. It's not a Sonic game. Nothing to do with Sonic whatsoever. But yeah, there's another 2D platformer that's basically kind of tied with Sonic 3 and Knuckles in my mind for best 2D platformer of all time. And then I guess it kind of all maybe a three-way tie after I finish playing this new 3D platformer that just recently came out. Okay, anyways, I'll just... It's pretty obvious. I've been playing... If you've been following the channel, I've been playing a lot of Freedom Planet lately, and I love the shit out of what I've played of that game so far. I am crazy about Freedom Planet right now. And again, it's a bit early. I've only been working at the game for... I don't know, I put a lot of time into the game because I'm kind of working. Anyways, I'll probably do a Freedom Planet LP at some point. To put a proper end and give credit where credit is due, and also to show off that credits music that I mentioned. So yeah, Sonic 3 credits. We'll go with the piece. So SNK Collection is basically the name of the PC version of Sonic and Knuckles. So we'll go Sonic 3 credits there. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to close things off with the Sonic 3 complete credits to give proper credit to the people who made this awesome mod. This is, like I said, definitive version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So, and I think you guys should know and give credit to all the people who, yeah, Tittles, good job directing this shit. Great job. All the options, all the best parts of mix and match, whatever you want. There's so many cool options too. I didn't even get into... I forgot to talk about Sonic Jam. I'm such an idiot. One of the other options in the menu is you can play through the Sonic Jam easy. So you can choose your level layouts. You can customize your level layouts because there's different layouts for each of the levels depending on which version of the game you're playing. There's the Sonic 3 versions of the Sonic 3 levels. There's the Sonic 3 and Knuckles versions of the Sonic 3 levels. And then there's the Sonic Jam Easy Mode and Sonic Jam Normal Mode, which are basically both kind of easier modes. Sonic Jam Easy Mode basically cut out a big portion of the game. There's one act per zone. You actually skip some zones, I think. And just like super easy. It adds like extra rings, extra platforms, takes out a bunch of spikes. It's just like really easy. Like easy mode, aptly named. It's like a little shortened, digested version of the game. And you can play that in this game. And then Sonic Jam Normal Mode, it's a complete version of the game. You play all the zones, all the acts, and what was I saying? Oh yeah, but it adds like some extra rings and takes away a few obstacles. It's like a slightly easy mode. Easier than the original. I prefer the original level designs. Like I could have shown that off if I wanted to, but I didn't. I prefer the original designs. Oh, I didn't even talk about... I didn't talk about the Supersonic sprite. So yeah, the Supersonic sprite was like incomplete in the original version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like if you get Supersonic in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the original version, and like certain animations of the Supersonic sprite would like revert back to the original Sonic sprite. Like, you know, Supersonic's hair is all spiky and like kind of standing up and stuff. He's all Super Saiyan. But then he's like suddenly like normal Sonic all of a sudden with certain animations. And they fixed that up for Sonic 3 Complete. They redid the sprite work for a lot of the animations for Supersonic to make them consistent. So yeah, his hair looks like the same, even like all of the different animations for him flipping and swinging off all the obstacles, which I didn't get to show you guys because I failed to get Supersonic in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So yeah, that's the level of just love and attention to detail that these modders put into this game. So yeah, props where props are due. Fantastic job on this. The definitive version of one of the greatest games of all time. I had a great time playing through this. This is just, coming back home. I almost don't want to end it just because I'm afraid that I've missed something. I was thinking of all these things that I missed at the end of it all of a sudden. But yeah, that's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. If you actually made it to the end of this series, thank you so much for watching. It was my enormous pleasure to share this with you guys. I'm actually not exactly done with Sonic stuff yet. This is kind of, you know, my favorite, obviously, of the Sonic games, but there's a few other good ones that I'm probably going to bring to the channel in the future, maybe the near future. I'm kind of in a Sonic mood these days. We'll see where that goes. But regardless, whatever I end up deciding to do, I'm glad that you guys decided to share this experience with me. So yeah, as ever, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.